Hey everyone, Sean Smith from ppcamsaccelerator.com, and today I wanted to talk about the importance of using bulk files to add targets like keywords or product targets, especially when you're scaling. So let's say you have a campaign, right? An Amazon PPC campaign with it's an exact match campaign, and it's got like 10 keywords, right? And you decide that you want to add keywords to that campaign, or it doesn't even matter, right? Or let's say you have a product targeting campaign and you want to add ASINs to that campaign. Well, what you could do is over here on the right, you could click on the campaign, click on the ad group in the seller console, and then you could just copy and paste keywords here or copy and paste ASINs here, put the bid there, and then, click add keywords, click save, and then guess what would happen? You would, all right, I'll use this here. Yeah. Add keywords, save, and then it would add those to your campaign. Now, let's say with one campaign, this isn't much of an issue, right? Let's say you add like 10, 20 keywords to one campaign. It's not much of an issue. But let's say you have 20 SKUs that you want to add keywords to, right? To campaigns, or to existing campaigns. And some people might be like, well, why don't you just create new campaigns? Well, you could, but if you're working with budget restrictions, it could be a little tricky. So that's another, thing to think about too, is like budget restrictions. If you've got 3 campaigns at $7 and then you launch 3 more with new keywords, then you've, doubled your budget. So it's something always to be aware of, right? Like how much are you going to spend? So let's say you add those keywords to the campaign. Let's say you add like 50 new keywords to each, 20 new campaigns or something. That's a lot of keywords, right? That's a ton of keywords. And what if those keywords don't do well? Or what if you realize that, maybe your keyword research methodology wasn't solid, or you just kind of realize that, hey man, they're not performing well, or it blows up the budget, or it ends up in a situation where it starts driving traffic to keywords that you don't want to drive traffic to, or it's taking away from traffic for those other keywords as well. Now, if you only have a few campaigns, this is not too much of an issue. You could probably remember all this stuff. But this is where it's important to use bulk files, because what it allows you to do is it allows you to not only create new campaigns, right? You can add keywords to existing campaigns, right? So if you have the campaign ID here, ad group ID here, you have the you don't even need the campaign name, right? Because you have the campaign ID and the ad group ID, so you don't need the campaign name. You just need the state enabled, the bid, the keyword, text, and the match type. And then you would want to click, you would have create. You want to make sure the product is correct, like sponsored products. And you could upload this. You could have 100 keywords here that you upload. But what's really nice is, let's say you do this to like 10, 20, 30 campaigns and it doesn't work out. And you decide, hey, the campaigns were performing way better before we added these keywords. Well, guess what you can do now? You can take that same file under operation. Now, keep in mind, guys, this is the new bulk file. Update it, right? And then you have the same campaign ID, same ad group ID, and then just click paused, or change enabled to pause. And then you can upload this file and pause those keywords that were not performing for you. This is why bulk files are so important, is because it allows us to not only make changes at scale, which saves us time and gets us better results in shorter periods of time, but it also allows us to reverse those changes, right? Because if we make changes and the changes don't work out, like let's say we want to run a test like with these new keywords and they don't work out, well, guess what? We have a static file right here that we can then turn it off. It's absolutely massive. especially at scale. You know, when you only have a few campaigns, might not be as important. You can remember all this stuff, you know, adding them, but really bulk files just make it so much easier to have a data set that you can change. You know, even with software, right? So some softwares, they might not track all of your changes. You might make a change and they might not track it and you can't remember it. Or they make lots of changes and you can't remember it and how to revert it and change it back. That's why it's something with our software, we built that into it where you can make a change and then reverse that change if it doesn't get those results. This is huge, absolutely massive, especially at scale. All right, guys, that covers the importance of using bulk files to add new keywords to campaigns or product targets as well. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Please comment, please like, let me know what you think of this video. Was it helpful? Because I make these videos to make sure that you get results, because that's what I would want for myself. So I want to make, and you know, this is something I do on a day-to-day basis, so I figured I'd share.